Hey everybody, welcome to my usual me, and welcome to a special announcement for a game that's coming out that I'm very excited for, called Atlas. This game was created by the creators of Ark Survival Evolved. It is a massively multiplayer first and third person fantasy pirate adventure. There's a lot to be said in their description on the Steam page, so if you want to check it out, go and you can follow along. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play their trailer in the background while I go over all the points. It's a lengthy description, so bear with me. This is going to be a long video. And we're going to go point by point, and I'm going to tell you what I think, and I'd like your opinions in the comment section below. So why don't you let me know what you think down below about what I have to say about this. Now, there's a lot of people are calling this Ark 2, and I can see why. Now, it says it's a massively multiplayer first and third person fantasy pirate adventure. It will host up to 40,000 players exploring the same globe simultaneously with an unprecedented scale of cooperation and conflict. Stake your claim in this endless open world as you conquer territory, construct ships, search for buried treasure, assemble forts, plunder settlements, and hire crew to join your powerful growing armada. Sounds pretty exciting, huh? Start small, then expand your spheres of influence from a small island up to an unstoppable pirate empire that spans across the oceans. Wage battle against enemy fleets as you single-handedly command large ships of war using the captaining system, or divide up the responsibilities among your trusted lieutenants, or take control of any weapon directly with your own character. Dive deep into the briny water to explore permanent sunken wrecks and recover salvage, unearth the loot from procedurally generated treasure maps and challenge zones, or complete challenging main quest lines. Team up with other aspiring adventurers and sail into the vast ocean to discover new lands rich with region-specific elements, tame exotic natural and mythical creatures, raid forgotten tombs, confront powerful ancient gods, and even build and administer your own colonies, cities, and civilizations to dominate the Atlas in this ultimate quest for fortune and glory. Well, that was a mouthful. So, it says, wage battle against enemy fleets to single-handedly command large ships of war. They're talking about the captaining system, and it sounds to me like it is similar to the system used in Ark, when you command your dinos, to attack, or your passive, or your neutral, and they only attack whenever they're attacked. Sounds very similar to that, but it's probably going to be a lot easier for them to implement that because without rocks and trees to get in the way, your crew is going to be able to just react on the boat. It's going to be a lot smoother, I think. I think it's going to work better. And they say you're going to unearth loot from procedurally generated treasure maps and challenge zones. So I think the procedurally generated treasure maps are great for like solo players. And there's probably going to be lower tiered items, like beginning loot that you're going to get. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Challenge zones, I'm expecting to be like mini boss treasure hunts that you can either participate, your group can, or you can participate with other groups, maybe co-op to defeat the boss. Maybe you share the loot. Maybe, I'm hoping it's going to be instanced. So otherwise, maybe you'll fight over it at the end. Not sure how they're going to go about that, but I'm pretty excited about the challenge zones. And now the main quest lines, and they've mentioned that there's going to be artifacts, and you collect all the artifacts, kind of like in Ark, and then you go and defeat the big demon boss, and that's like the end game content, I think. I'm pretty sure. That's what it sounds like to me. So those main quest lines are going to be, you have to sail over here for 3 hours and get this artifact, and then sail over there and get this artifact, and blah, blah, blah. And over the course of time, you collect them all, and then eventually you can get everything you need and go kill the boss. Pretty standard Ark stuff. It says, team up with other aspiring adventurers and sail into the vast ocean to discover new lands rich with region-specific elements. This is important. Tame exotic natural and mythical creatures, raid forgotten tombs, confront powerful ancient gods, and even build and administer your own colonies, cities, and civilizations to dominate the Atlas in this ultimate quest for fortune and glory. All right, so region-specific elements. Actually, in our history, ancient shipping lines were used to travel from port to port and trade one set of goods for another. And with as many islands as they claim to have here, it's like 700 unique land masses is what they're saying. It sounds like they're going to be trading goods and services back and forth. It's going to be a regular thing. Which reminds me of possibly Ark's auction house mod that we saw in Ark. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ark's mods, but if you're not, you might get a little confused. But there's a lot in here that they're using from the mods that I've seen throughout the years in Ark that I think have been taken from their modding program, and it's being implemented now into this game. And the Ark Auction House mod might be something that they're going to implement so that if you get a rare resource, you can put it on the market. And maybe you do have to go to another town or go to a trading HUD. Maybe you don't. Maybe you can just build your own trading house and you can put your resource up for trade. And then across the ocean, someone can buy it from you. And maybe it takes a certain amount of time. I don't know. But this is what I'm thinking they're using. They're using I think they're going to use the idea from the Ark's Auction House mod to implement this. That's what I'm thinking. Now with taming, now that's old news for wildcard guys. Everybody who knows that knows Ark knows that they've come up with new taming mechanisms over the years. So hopefully this will be a fresh take on an old tried and true winner, because so many people love this, and being able to tame animals and creatures is a big part of Ark. If this is going to be like an Ark 2 or an improved Ark, then they're going to need this. So I hope they come up with some new unique ways of taming. I'm excited to try out all the different types of taming that they've got in the game. Now they talk about raiding forgotten tombs. Dungeon raids, guys, are a staple of MMO. So let's hope that Grape Shot Games and Instinct Games get this right. Because if you don't know who that is, Grape Shot Games and Instinct Games are the developer and the publisher. Okay, it's not Wildcard anymore. So I don't know what is up with that, but it's different names. I think it might be for legal reasons, and not sure how that's going to shake out. But anyway, so dungeon raids aren't hard to do, man. You go in, set some traps, set some trash mobs, maybe a pitfall or two with the boss at the end, and it's pretty easy peasy, right? I just hope we get a good amount of variety when we're down in those catacombs, because ain't nothing worse than having the same raid over and over again when you go to a different tomb and it's the same exact thing. So variety is the spice of life. Hopefully they get this right. Really. They claim to have proprietary technology, guys. Now listen to this. Physically sail in real time across the vast oceans with proprietary server network technology. Explorers will voyage to over 700 unique landmasses across 45,000 square kilometers with thousands of discovery zones, 10 distinct world regions, each having their own unique resources, creatures, secrets, and environmental hazards. There is a separately PvE atlas for players who don't want or wish to play any PvP. That's great. Explorers, have at it. It's awesome. I'm personally going to be on an RP server, so it will be PvP, but it's going to be roleplay based. It's on Twitch RP, and so that's going to be, we have our own set of rules over there, and so that's going to keep most of the people in check, because we all used to that sort of thing. So, but PvE is excellent for somebody who doesn't like to PvP. Now, getting back to this proprietary technology, I read that they claim that they've stitched together like 1,200 servers. That's like the size of how large this map is, right? And they're not the first ones to do this, guys. Life is Feudal, the MMO, did something similar with this about a little more than a year ago. They stitched 50 servers together, and at launch they had some serious issues with this, guys. It took them months to work it out, and now even a year later they're still trying to work out some of those kinks. So when they say it's proprietary, yeah, maybe, but it's by no stretch is it a groundbreaking or revolutionary thing. All right, they used somebody else's mechanic for this game, and they made it their own. Now, I'm sure it's not the only time we're going to see something from this game that's being used from another game that's being used for Atlas. And I'm sure this is not the only time we're going to find something from another game that's being used for Atlas. I can guarantee you that. And what Life is Feudal did was, because they had different servers stitched together, if they had a problem with one server, they would take that one server down. The rest of them would still be up. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the case. That if there's a problem with one server, they can take that one server down. They don't have to shut down the whole system. Because if they do, then they're going to have everybody mad at them. Not just a handful of people. And then they can fix it and bring it back up. This is what I'm hoping. And hopefully they'll do rolling server restarts in different sections of the map as we go, so that not everyone has to stop playing at the same time, and you don't flood everybody back in when they go back up. That's a smart way to do it. I hope that that's how they do it. So Construct the ship of your dreams, plank by plank. Build dry docks and start with a dinghy, rowboat, basic raft, tiny sloop, or nimble schooner. Moving on up to your own versatile brigantine or Titanic galleon capable of transporting hundreds of crew and extensive cargo. Name your ship in big bold letters, paint and copy your own private flag, and custom place all the pieces of your ship, which sails and where, planks and gun ports. Every single structure piece has a physical weight and material to function exactly how you want. There's a lot of good that's in this, but there's a lot of scary stuff in this too. Everything has a physical weight and material, which means if you put too much on there, you're not going to be sailing very quickly. If you put all your mass on one side, your boat's going to list to one side and you're going to maybe tip over and it won't work right. You're sink your boat. Now, so at launch, there's going to be 5 available, right? And they're going to take their cue from Arc. If they take their cue from Arc's success, they'll most likely add at least that many more over the course of 2 to 3 years. Because, as we know, weekly content is king, right? I mean, who wasn't excited for a new dino every week in Arc? And so, new things being implemented every week. I really hope they take their cue from Arc and its success, because that was huge. So anyway, captain your crew. It says, recruit real players and AI crew from free ports, or rescue seasoned crew from destroyed Army of the Damned shipwrecks to man distinct stations on your boat. Set sail and explore the Atlas with them to gain experience and level their stats or gear, as well as leveling your ship. Your crew are versatile, whether on land or ship, or even riding behind your animal companions or emplacements. They can man weapons of all kinds: cannons, swivel guns, siege engines, turrets, even gigantic mortars, many with dynamically swappable ammo types, including grape shot, chain shot, spike shot, liquid fire, and more. Instruct them to board enemy ships and help you conquer the seas. Keep their stomachs full and their pockets full of gold, that's important, lest you want a mutiny on your hands. Take on the captain's wheel or divide up the command responsibilities via lieutenant podiums to direct the ship's assignable weapon system, sails, and stations, including standing orders or manual grouped fire, or walk up to any station and take control of it yourself. Now, once again, this sounds very similar to the thrall system in Conan, guys, mixed with the XP leveling system of the dinos in Arc. So it sounds like they took Conan's mechanic and mixed it with theirs. So once again, how much did they take from another game? So not only do you have to feed your crew, though, you have to pay them as well. And so you better be a dang good merchant, guys, or a bloodthirsty cutthroat pirate captain. Or you might find your pet crew jumping ship to find a better life among the mermaids. Or you might get your own throat cut. Because if they get mad at you enough, I wonder if there's a morale system where if they could turn on you and they can kill you. That would be interesting. And then you just have this boat with, these random crew members that are floating in the ocean that anybody can come and snatch. Okay, so it says whether on land or ship or even riding behind your animal companions and emplacements. It tells me that they can be taken off the ship and be used as a private army, but I suspect their movements are going to be severely limited due to the animal transportation that you provide, guys. Since it looks like they're going to be using the AI from Arc in the video, the pathing on these crew members are probably not going to be very good. I wouldn't get your expectations too high. And then they talk about the lieutenant podiums. I think that I see a chart where you assign individual crew to do their assigned jobs. And boarding of the ships is most likely going to be accomplished when you either grapple to another ship or you get in close enough proximity so that you can actually order them to jump over onto the other boat. So that should be fairly interesting. I can't wait to see how many of these boarding robo crew members or robo pirates fall into the ocean, man. It's going to make for some interesting salt when you have all these really expensive crew members and you go to board another boat, half of them fall in the ocean. People are going to, I can just see it. I can just see the forums filling up right now. Pirate PvP to the limit. Arg. Everything is up for grabs, including player ships, their crew, their pets, their forts, their land, and their booty. If you can get your hands on it, you can take it. A ship's permanent logbook tells the tale of the legendary travel, exploits, and ownership. Now, the logbook. Will this allow for a pirating vessel to not only be able to take your ship, but also use the information inside of it to retrace your steps back to your holdings on land and flat out take everything you own while you're either locked in a brig or set afloat on a tiny rowboat? I wonder. It'll be interesting to see what sort of griefing practices come out of this little gem, guys. I'm really curious to find out, because it sounds like it could be a bad thing. Be the hero or villain you were meant to be. MMO scale character progression systems include, at launch, over 15 disciplines with over 300 skills in a vast unlockable tree. New feat systems allow for active and passive bindable character abilities, while new stat buff systems allow innumerable abstract statistics to be modified by skills, items, and armor. And now everything has scalable stats, including structures, and can be progressively upgraded. All right, if this tree is as diverse as they're alluding to, guys, builds are going to become super important, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, obviously. But not only that, but being able to improve structures makes me wonder, will there be an ability to, say, add metal bands to wood and stone to make them stronger? Or is it going to be just the same old thatch, wood, stone, and metal tiers that we've been using in Ark for so long? Is it going to be all that boring old system, or they're going to innovate it and spruce it up a little bit? I really hope that they do like banded wood, or maybe stronger types of wood that you can use when you rank up your skills. That's what I'm hoping for. You know what I mean? Better stone. You go from maybe limestone to marble. Maybe I don't know if they will have different tiers of stone. If they'll have different tiers of wood, maybe different tiers of metal. Different things that you can add to those existing structures to make them stronger. I'm hoping for that, but we'll see. This is who you are. Extensive character visual customization enables an endless range of realistic and not so realistic characters with a vast array of sliders, morphs, muscle tones, and tweakable values. You can even per pixel design your own permanent tattoos and then draw war paint on top of that too. If someone exists in the real world, they should be creatable in Atlas. Best in class dynamic hair growth and real-time aging systems allow you to get old and pass on your legacy or find a fountain of youth. All right, guys. Number one, customization. All right, Arx made this claim before when they first came out, and they said they were going to have more facial choices later on, and those were forgotten. Nobody remembers that they said that, and they were never developed. So I hope they get this worked out. I mean, I'm not expecting a whole lot, right? I mean, it sounds like they're trying to sell me the Black Desert Online level of detail here. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I just hope we have more choices than we did before, and I'll be happy, right? So now the tattoo thing, I like it. I really hope that we're going to be able to download like graphics so we can put that on our body. There were plenty of websites out there. There are plenty of websites out there that allow that in Ark. I really hope that they integrate that into the system so you can do that here. I don't know if they're going to be able to, if they're going to go into that much detail though. They might just let the old websites do their thing, and we'll have to use those, which is fine so long as we can use them. Just some of them are a little confusing sometimes. Now here's a big one, guys. Aging. This is one of the mechanics that they flat out ripped off from Chronicles of Illyria. Now, Chronicles of Illyria, if you don't know, is an MMO that's been in production for many years now, guys. It's a game that I'm very excited to play because I'm curious, because I've always been curious as to how people would take the fact that one day your character will grow old and die. You know what I mean? Because if your character's going to grow old and die, then it has a finite lifespan, which makes me wonder, does that mean that Atlas was going to have permadeath? Are they going to have permadeath? I hope not, because if they've been silent about this in their description, and they haven't mentioned a word about permadeath, then that's most certainly going to cause a backlash they don't need early on, right? Perma is one of those things that you either love it or you hate it. Now, I like it. I like permadeath myself, but that might blow up in the devs' faces because they've got the Fountain of Youth thing, right? They mentioned the Fountain of Youth, so that's going to be a thing. We just got to find it. But already I can smell Alpha Tribes massing around it already, guys. Already I can see Alpha Tribes blocking that in, cordoning it off, keeping it for themselves so they don't have to lose their characters. I can already see it. Unless there is a herbal style youth potion that you're going to be able to do, because there is going to be magic in the game. So to a limited extent, like tarot style magic. I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but maybe that's going to be a thing. We'll see. Endless adventure, full quests and waypoint systems with subquests and rewards for major goals, while procedural treasure maps and challenge zones also ensure that there's always something new to find out over the horizon. We already covered this. I don't think there's too much more to say. I think that's I think it's great, and we'll see how it plays out. Intense action. Tactical melee combat systems with blocks, parries, dodges, character motion, optional shields, stunning and strength varying strikes, directional attacks, and more for use in either first or third person perspectives. Fists, swords, maces, blackjacks, daggers, and much more give you tremendous options to pick the right weapon for the job. Meanwhile, period appropriate weaponry with skill-based active reload systems include flintlock pistols, muskets, blunderbuss, and more. Just be sure to keep your powder dry. I wonder if that's going to be a thing. I mean, you're out in the rain. Is your powder going to get wet? Are you not going to be able to reload? Do you have to let you dry your powder out? You're going to need waterproof containers, I'm sure. I don't know, but they talk about intense action, tactical melee-based combat systems. I hope they get this right. This is one of the biggest complaints in ARK that was that the combat sucked. I mean, if they're going to steal anything from any other game, and yes, I'm flat out saying that they're stealing things from other games because they are. They're taking the best parts, what they see as the best parts of other games and all the mods that they've acquired over these last 4 years, and I think they're going to try to put them in this game. They're trying to raise this game above ARK, and that's great. I think it's great. But these are really super big boasts to make, man, especially when, from what I've seen, it looks almost like a copy-paste of ARK character models, guys. I'm not seeing a whole lot of change in the trailer. I'm not seeing a whole lot that looks different than ARK. It looks so similar that I find it hard to believe that they're going to have this much variety, like Conan Exiles level of variety. I don't see that. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Claim what's yours. Form a company, claim territory, and apply taxation and behavior rules to that which you own. Be a benevolent governor, a feudal lord, or a ruthless dictator. Territory ownership is visualized on your dynamic zoomable world map with a fog of war obscuring uncharted regions and shroud of war hiding enemy territories out of sight range. Contest other governments' ownership of land, structures, or ships to expand your empire. The top large-scale spheres of influence on the official atlas are visualized in real time on the Play Atlas homepage. Design your own custom flag per pixel to apply to your claims to be famous or infamous. Now, I don't really have too much to say about this because it's going to be a land grab. Literally a land grab. And the bigger tribes are going to have the bigger territories. Question is, how much territory can you actually acquire? Is there going to be a limit? Is there an outside bubble where you can only have a certain amount? Are you going to be able to, are you going to be able to hold it? Is it going to require resources to hold it? Like in Life is Feudal, the MMO, you have outposts, and they require resources to continue to have those operate. And then they produce resources for you. Is that going to be a thing? Are they taking from Life is Feudal, the MMO? Are they going to implement that? I don't know. But I do like I said, the pixel by pixel downloadable, or the pixel by pixel flag thing. That's really cool. Like I said, I hope they were able to download images. That'd be amazing. It opens it up for some really gross stuff, but it gives so much creativity. It allows for so much creativity that I think it should be acceptable. Creatures great and small. More than 50 creatures at launch, varying from breedable utilitarian farm animals and shoulder-mounted parrots and monkeys that offer unique buffs, all the way to magical mermaids and gigantic sea monsters of legend. Creatures can be found in their logical regions, but take skill and tactics to tame using new mechanics while gaining the most benefit and fertility from their natural biomes. Ferry these temperamental creatures across the vast oceans in a virtual Noah's Ark to trade in exotic locales. All right, guys, I think this is great. 50 creatures to start. That's a decent amount for us to be able to sink our teeth into. And then if they follow Ark's success path, they'll release one every week, 2 weeks, or however short amount of time, so that they give content creators something to make videos with. When things start to get stale, it spruces things up. It keeps the hype train going. It's good business, just good business. We started with like 50 when Ark started, I think. I think it was about 50, right? And then we got up all the way up to 100 animals, right, at the end of it, or 100 creatures. So if they do that, if they release one every week or every 2 weeks, that keeps the hype train going for the 2 to 3 years of development that they're saying they need to get this done. And that keeps everybody happy. All the content creators will be happy because it gives us brand new stuff to check out. And that puts more money in their pocket. Yada yada, good business. Free ports to meet and greet. Level capped starter zones allow you to learn the ropes and meet new players in a safe space before you venture out into the great unknown. Where the wind and destiny takes you beyond that is up to the gods. All right, guys, so level cap starter zones, man. You probably have a tutorial of sorts in like the small town where you get your basic skills and necessities for survival in the new land. And then after a certain level, you'll probably not advance anymore until you leave the town. And then you'll probably never be allowed to return. It's just like in Life is Feudal, the MMO, where you start in the beginner island, and then you set sail on a ship, and you go to another island, which is the big map. I almost guarantee you they took that from Life is Feudal, the MMO. I almost guarantee you that's how it's going to work. So there you go. There's another thing they took from another game. That's fine. That's fine. You take the best ideas and use them as your own. So long as it's not a copyright infringement, you're not going to get sued. I just hope that they're going to allow you to skip this step entirely if you choose, for those of us who either know the world already or want to put caution to the wind and just get out there. You know what I mean? Because I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Because there's nothing more monotonous than having to redo a starter tutorial every time you restart a game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at you, 7 Days to Die. Those starter things up in the top right hand side of the screen. Stop it, man. Let us bypass that. Overhauled building systems include automatic foundational elevation adjustment, dynamic tile type swapping, improved snap detection and previewing, integrated plumbing systems, per pixel paintable everything, beast of burden harness attachments for field gun and carriages, and much more. Survival systems newly include, among other aspects, vitamin benefits and deficiencies with recipe and cooking skills and varying ingredient qualities. All right, this is huge, right? They're claiming to have a better building system, and if I'm reading this right, and if they're actually going to use the mechanics which exist in the S Plus mod, then I'm excited for it. They haven't done it in Ark completely. They said they were going to they're going to add S Plus into Ark. They never did. They did the no clip, but that was that, and they haven't added anything else yet. So if they've taken that mod and implemented it into this game, then they hard-coded it into this game, then great. That's amazing. I'm super happy for it because everybody loves S+. That's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm expecting. So let's hope that that's what that is. Now, however, the vitamin benefit and deficiency system that they're going to be using is most likely coming from the idea that Tao and Ali Killa, who created the Survival Plus mod, Total Conversion mod, this is where that's coming from, I think. And if this system is as unforgiving as theirs, I can already tell you that the forum posts are going to fill up with complaints. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of a nutrient system, but when it's applied in a game, it takes away from what people want to do. Just play the game, right? I mean, trying to spend a ton of time trying to balance your every nutrient need is time consuming. So I really hope that they balance this and it's like a seasoning in the stew and not like part of the meat and potatoes, so to speak. I really hope it's a flavor and not a major component. Powerful mod and server functionalities. Want to build a World War II Spitfire or a Flying Fortress bomber with fully walkable interior and gun stations? carrying troops with loaded with machine guns and rocket launchers. How about a tank, an aircraft carrier to play out the battle? Blah 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 blah. The possibilities are endless. All right, I get it. The Atlas dev kit. That's amazing. We can make our own maps. Cool. We can make them as small as we want or as big as we want. That's amazing. But just be aware. If you guys haven't realized where I'm going with this, I've been talking about this entire time. Every time a mod is made, every time a game developer sees a mod or they get a mod made with their dev kit, that game developer asks themselves, how can we use this in our game? Is there something we can take from this? Can we take a piece of this? Can we take a piece of that? Will it make it better? Or should we, or do we even have to pay the creator for their work since they used our toys? Now, in all fairness, I think the modding program created by Wildcard was an amazing thing. It allowed new and existing modders to get a leg up. It paid them a certain amount, but how much of their idea did they have to give up? Probably all of it, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff here that came from mods in Ark. You know, so how much of the modding done in Ark in the last 3 or 4 years is being used in this brand new game, and are these modders even being compensated? Have they already been compensated? You know, are the developers not even legally bound to do that because this is a new intellectual property with a new developer and publisher? You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are more learned people out there that'll answer that question. I'm not that guy. I just asked the question. But let me make one thing perfectly clear, guys, as I close this up. After as many hours as I've logged into Ark, I will be playing this game. A lot. I'm not just here, but also on Twitch. I'm excited about this title. I want to love this title. I'm going in with rose-colored glasses. I really, really want this title to be a good title. All right, and I'm not gonna just do the how-tos that I've been doing on Fallout 76. I'm also going to be doing, be doing those, the short videos, right? The little baby ones, tell you where to find things and how to do things. But I'm also going to be doing Let's Plays. I'm also going to be doing role play on Twitch. So if you haven't gone over to twitch.tv/myusualme, go over there. I will be doing a lot of that. And so this game, if it lives up to the hype I think it's going to live up to, is going to be all-encompassing. Because there's a lot of content coming in the near future for this channel, for this game. I'm super excited. Guys, if this is anything like Ark, if it's better than Ark, it'll give us years and years of playability and content and things for you to watch and exciting things for you to explore with me, with us. And so I really hope that you join me in the future as we explore this brand new world called Atlas. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, guys, as well as any thoughts you might have on any of the points I made. I'll happily answer them as soon as I can. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, do that right now. And as I always say, I am my usual me. You be your usual you. And we'll see you on the 13th for the first live stream look at Atlas here on YouTube. Just as soon as it goes live, I will be too. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please share this with your friends so that they can comment on it too. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.